Thank y'all so much for tuning in tonight. I am so glad that we are taking this journey together on Passion Week to understand our purpose in it all, even through Jesus. The reason why we're taking this time out is, yes, to honor the sacrifice that Jesus has done. But throughout these days, on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, well, actually starting on Sunday, we get nuggets on how we're supposed to live. Jesus Christ is not only our propitiation, which means that he was the sacrificial lamb, he's also our prototype. He's the one who shows us how to live. So therefore, when we're finding out how to live, we have to look at the life of Jesus to see how he responds in certain situations so that we can do what the wristband says, know what Jesus would do, so that we would respond in the same way. So we cannot operate outside of the Word of God because Jesus, in essence, is the Word of God. So that's why we're finding our inspiration and our know-how from the Word of God. In John chapter 12, verse number 27 and verse number 28, Jesus Christ is on his way to Jerusalem. And it is what they believe called the Silent Wednesday, which means nothing was happening. We know what happened Sunday with Hosanna. We know what happened Monday with him cursing the fig tree. We even know what happened Tuesday because we saw the results of him cursing the fig tree and the litany of questions that followed that. But on Wednesday, nothing happens. But Jesus says something in John chapter 12 that gives us some sort of insight as to what may have been going on Wednesday when nothing was happening. And he says these words in John chapter 12, verse number 27. He says, "My soul is troubled." That's something, my brothers and sisters. He says that my soul is troubled because although there was something going on Sunday, something going on Monday, something going on Tuesday, Wednesday, when nothing was happening, there was a vexation in his soul. But he didn't stop there. He says, "Shall I say, Father, save me from this hour? But it's for this purpose I came to this hour." So sometimes when our purpose is on the horizon and things are about to turn around in our favor and the things of God are about to unfold in our life, sometimes the significance or the signal of that is not having all sunny skies. Sometimes it's not having the rose petals thrown at your foot. Sometimes the indicator that your purpose is nigh is when you have trouble in your soul and absolutely nothing is happening. My brother and sister, how often have we felt that way? Where it seems like I felt this anxiety, I felt this misery, I felt this anxiousness on the inside of me and absolutely nothing was happening. Could that have been the indicator that things were about to tilt into the favor of your purpose? Because look at how ironic is set up. That is set up on Wednesday, the middle of the week, which means that Jesus Christ had came to the crux of his purpose and it was getting ready to tilt into the very thing that he was sent to do. It was getting ready to tilt to the latter half and his purpose and in his destiny. My brothers and sisters, do not forsake your feelings and your emotions, but we have got to filter our feelings and our emotions through the Word of God. Because look at what he does. Not only does he just feel it, he takes that feeling to God. My brothers and sisters, whatever you feel, may that be the driving force that you bring it to God. I know that you're feeling depressed, but bring it to God. I know you even may be feeling some sense of anxiety, but bring it to God. You may have some discouragement that you're battling, but bring it to God. You have got to allow God to filter through the emotions, because you may misdiagnose your season thinking that it's not purposeful. But my brothers and sisters, it's right here in the text. Jesus says it's for this purpose that I came, which means even what he was feeling was part of the journey. See, this is where we get our encouragement from, because we feel certain things, but even in our feelings, it's part of the journey. You are not alone when you feel discouraged. You are not alone when you feel depressed. You're not even alone when you feel defeated. You're not alone even when you feel alone, because you just need to bring it to God. And when you bring it to God, God begins to interpret our feelings to let us know it's just part of the journey on the way to your purpose. This is what Jesus hangs his hat on after he brings it to God, because even in that, it doesn't seem like there's any relief. But Jesus says something at the end of verse number 27 or the beginning of verse number 28. He says, Father, glorify your name. So no matter what I'm going through, let it work for your glory. No matter what I feel, let it work for your glory. Because sometimes, my brothers and sisters, it won't feel better, but you have to know that it's going to work for his glory. This is where I hang my hat sometimes when I'm feeling some things. It's not that I don't have emotions. I just choose not to gratify my emotions outside of the fact of knowing that God is going to get glory. He has to back up his word to us, his people. He has got to come through for us, no matter how I feel at the moment. So even though when there are periods of my life when I want to throw in the towel, I realize that this is for his glory. Even though there are times where I want to quit and I want to walk away, guess what? I realize that it's for his glory. And that's what we have to be encouraged by. Father, glorify your name. I know I'm feeling something, but glorify your name. I know I'm troubled in my soul, but glorify your name. Because in your glory, I know that you're working something together. Watch this now. For my good. Romans chapter 8, verse number 28. And we know that he works all things together for our good. But this is what it gets, a response from heaven. That's not just the good part. The good part is that heaven responds. When heaven responds, God said, Jesus, I heard you. This is John chapter 12, verse number 28. I have both glorified and I'll glorify again. Now, I want to leave this right here. Glorify again has something to do with oscillate, which means that it's going to come back around again. It's almost like the sea dragon. It's almost like a fan. Even though it blows on this side, I got to know that it's coming back around again. So with the fan analogy, it's hot because the fan is on this side. But I got to know that relief of the cool breeze is coming back on the other side. All I got to do is stay in my position, because I don't want to miss my relief coming my way. I know you feel something, and I know you may be on the verge of giving up because of the trouble on your soul. But just hold firm for a moment and allow God to blow relief your way one more time. It's coming back around. It's got to oscillate. I had glorified and I will glorify again. It's coming back around, my brother and sister. Hold on and be encouraged, because everything that you need is about to blow your way. Don't you give up on God. Don't you quit on God. Don't you quit on your purpose. May you find hope in the word of God, knowing that even though you're troubled, it's just part of the journey. You're still on your way to purpose. You're still on your way to your destiny. You're still on assignment. It's just a period, but it's going to oscillate, because he has glorified and he will glorify again. Be encouraged. God's peace. Good journey. I'll catch you next time.